Texture. Turn to your page on texture in your packet. Put a rectangle around the definition. Put a box around the definition. Texture is an element of art that refers to the surface quality as being rough, smooth, soft, etc. Texture may be actual or implied. Put a box around the definition for actual texture. Texture you can actually touch and feel, for example, pottery, sculpture, and weaving. Implied texture, texture you can't feel, put your box around it. Texture you can't feel, but you can see, for example, photography or drawing. So if I have a real piece of toast in one hand and a picture of a piece of toast in the other hand, the real piece of toast, the actual piece of toast, is the actual texture. It's that simple. In the following spaces, write the word texture. I'm going to let you write, or just make a T. Just make a T as indicated for each. So the first one, I'm going to make a furry T. I'm going to go ahead and put my, lightly draw my T in each one, and then I'm going to make them according to each one. So the first one is a furry T. So I'm going to make it furry by making some lines like this. He kind of looks like a really weird caterpillar, like some sort of caterpillar that has been exposed to radiation, and like he's got a extra little tip or something. Who knows? Okay, the next one is a brick, because she's a brick house. She's mighty, mighty, teaching all about texture. Okay, for that one, real simple. Just put the dots in there for the sand and the rocks that go in bricks. You want that to be a rough looking texture. If you get outside the box, make sure, or outside the T, fix it. For bubbles, I'm going to make a circle and then two curved lines that indicate a reflection. And I'm just going to make several bubbles along the shape of my T. They can overlap. I can have one in front of the other. I can have some that look like you're only partially seeing. But what makes them different than a circle is the lines that indicate a reflection. For leaves, I think I'm going to do, you could just do leaves overlapping, or you could do a branch with leaves coming off of it. I'm going to make a series of leaves that are overlapping, maybe a little bit like a vine coming up a tree. But what you need to make sure you do with your leaves is put in the small lines that indicate that they have that texture of a leaf. Have you ever done a leaf rubbing? Yes. Okay, the next one is fire. I'm going to make my fire just look like it's coming up in the shape of the T. And the last one is wood. So for the wood, you can make yours 2x4s if you wanted to. I'm going to make mine more of a natural, so it looks like that my T is made out of two logs. Now what you have to make sure you do here is put the texture, because this is texture, make sure you put the texture of your logs, of the wood, in there. Go ahead and complete your page on texture.